We're back.
We're back.
Johnny's on a delay.
Get in my radio voice.
Well, you better stay in your radio voice because we have a great guest. I'm a little intimidated. We were just talking about this before too, but she's an actual radio professional, and she knows what she's doing as opposed to Johnny and I. So we have a great, and she's a hilarious comedian, Marianne Cirque. What's up, Marianne?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I just realized I've been doing radio for so long. I guess I am a professional at that.
Yeah, right? How long have you been doing radio now?
7 or 8 years. It just crept up on me. I was a road comedian, just like the two of you boys. This could happen to you.
Well, it did.
Someone's going to offer you a steady paycheck, and you're going to run to it.
Oh, not that part. That part has
We decided to do the free podcast part.
Right.
I did that too. Trust me.
Yeah.
This is my radio voice, by the way.
That's great. I see why you got the job. No, but you're also a unique guest because you're the first person who's actually asked for backup in the comments to now appear on the show.
Oh,
Marianne's
see, listeners, dreams can come true.
Yeah, that's right.
Real fans can come on the show.
So how did we do? Did you feel backed up when you listened? Or did you not listen after that?
I think, no, I heard that one. You guys were grossed out and confused by it. I actually did want to talk back a little bit.
Well, no, wait a minute. So let's remind people what it was.
Right. Reset.
Because they might not know. Let's.
Right.
Oh my God, all the terms.
Right.
My bed is hot, and we're gonna reset. So you need to back up on reselling, or like you just say it.
Towels, was it?
Yeah. You could say it gross, and then you could say it cool. I sell old sheets and towels online, or vintage
Right.
towels, retro. This is the words I use on Etsy. Retro,
Pre-owned.
60s, 70s, beautiful floral prints. And so I find them at Savers, the thrift store here. I buy them for $1 and I resell them for like 35 or 40 bucks.
Whoa.
And it's fun. It's like, but see, here's what you're missing. You guys were confused. Like, why would anybody buy the old ones? And you kept thinking, oh, they're broken in. That is nice. And somebody even said, I like a soft towel. And someone said, no, soft towels are gross. And I agree. You want like a little roughness.
It was Jason, our guest.
Which is insane. Okay. I don't agree.
You want a little heat on it. You don't want a little roughness to get everything off. You're almost loofahing at the same time.
No.
Yeah, that feels like something dried and crusted.
Yeah,
like sandpaper
now
is what you're talking about.
That's my Etsy description too. Dry crusted.
Retro
dry crusted old towels for sale.
But
35% markup.
It's half
times.
Polyester, 35 crust. It is they're pretty. They're way prettier than now. They're like cool, like trippy 60s patterns. They're cartoons from the 80s and 90s. Not today. Yeah.
Now see that, Johnny, I think you'd be into that, right? Like cool, like vintage.
Well, I have a t-shirt that I paid a lot of money in New York for, and it was like, it's a t-shirt, and then they cut the He-Man bed sheets. They cut the He-Man out of the bed sheets, put it on, they sewed it to the shirt, and they're like, here, this is $60 now.
Yeah.
They got me.
I did that with a Gizmo. I found a t-shirt with Gizmo from Gremlins, is it? And on a t-shirt, and I paid $40 for it in Silver Lake, And now look at me. I could find that tomorrow for $1.
Killing it
at my place. So does that make it more appealing now that you hear?
Well, I feel like I backed it up. I'm absolved.
I backed it up too. Didn't I?
I don't think you did.
Oh, maybe I didn't.
No, and I get it. I get that it sounds gross. By the way, I also sell pantyhose, not used, but pantyhose like from the 70s and 80s.
Huh.
They're not used, but it's the packaging is so cool and cute.
Oh,
looking.
like the egg, the plastic egg.
It's not the
thing?
egg, but I know what you're saying. It's just pretty girls that look like they're from the 60s and they're real opaque blue. You gotta just check out my Etsy store for God's sake.
Go to the Etsy store.
Well, what is it? You gotta plug it.
Oh, I haven't even said it yet. Boho Treasures.
All right.
Boho Mod Treasures. I should probably know the name. And Boho Mod Blog is the name of my blog because I decided 15 years after the trend to jump on.
No, the blog is great, and then the Instagram is great too. It's very inspiring to see how many times you changing up the look of the living room. I feel
that's
like
all I do. That's all I do.
It's a constant evolution.
Yeah, and I'm happy that my husband doesn't care. He's like into it because sometimes guys like are opposed to pink or floral, but he's just like it looks good. So
who's doing all the painting? Are you
me
painting most? You're doing all the painting.
Mm-hmm. I hate it, but I like the result.
Yeah, Heidi's similarly wanted like every room in our house like painted a different color, and like even then accent walls and like ceiling different, and it's like a lot. And then it's like, and then I had to paint all. She's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I would be that good. It's like, it's painting. You just paint it. It's just work, but it's like anyone can paint. It's
just not fun. I don't think I would like it. So
yeah. Yeah, she doesn't think it's for her, but she wanted it.
It's awful.
Yeah. And then changing the colors. You do all that, and I cut it perfectly, and like I get the line, and she's like, oh no, the ceiling we got to do again. And it's like, oh, the ceiling, just the ceiling. Okay, good.
I've never painted a ceiling. Are you a fan of trimming or the rock and roll, the big swoopy middle part with the roller?
Oh, I'm a roller guy. The roller's way easier, right?
Way rather do the roller. Although I take more pride in the trimming. I mean, because I feel like
I'd rather
I have
do
a
the
steady
trim.
hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I'd rather do the roller.
Go for it. See, then come on over. We'll be a team.
I'll cut in, and then
I like the tiny stuff. So speaking of Heidi, your wife, that's why I am a fan of your podcast, because I'm a friend of Heidi.
So just to be clear, it's neither of the hosts. Okay.
No.
No, not at all. And by the way, Heidi, Heidi, the most vocal critique of the format of the podcast. So it's great that she's drumming up listeners. But go ahead.
She did. I'm friends with Heidi from LA. Like we were friends in Los Angeles, and I obviously friends on Instagram, which is the only way to be friends now. And she promoted it. So I listened for her, and then I stuck around for you guys. Like I definitely enjoy. I almost want to steal stuff too, because on my show, I do an afternoon radio show from 2 to 7 in Baltimore here. And we're not supposed to talk about politics. We can't swear. It's like, there's so many things we can't talk about that the mundane little things that you guys pick on. I'm like, oh, I want to steal that. And then it never works when I try it.
Oh, well, it doesn't really work when we do it either. I mean, it's just, there's no feedback.
It continues to fail.
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of our original taglines? Mundane little things.
Boring and not unimportant.
Crusty. I think it was. Yeah. If you ever want to, I feel like what would be the themes of our show so far? I feel like clogging toilets is a big one.
Let's come up.
And
let me tell you some of the favorite things you guys have talked about that I liked. One idea I thought was brilliant: the subscription service to yourself.
Not ringing
no
any
idea
bells.
What you're talking about.
You guys listen to your show?
No, I don't remember. That happens to us sometimes because you're
missing some good ideas.
I know, but what happens is like you talk, doing 5 hours of radio a day, and then it's like Johnny and I feel like half the times we bring up a topic, we're like, have we talked about this before? Yeah. Please say no. So yeah,
almost every day we have to have a topic where it's like a generic open-ended question so people can call in, and we've done it all. Like it's just totally like, and now we're like, have we done it recently? So then we could just regurgitate. But the subscription service to yourself, I don't know whose idea it was, but you guys talked about it. It was because you lose your passports, your birth certificates, your licenses. So you're like, I wish I could subscribe.
Yes, that was great. I remember
where you just get your own paperwork every year. It's so smart.
That is a great idea. We should steal that.
Thank you for reminding us.
We should talk about that on the show.
Oh, I should have brought it up like it was mine.
We totally would have bought it. I was like, wow, that's really smart. No, I remember because Greg Warren was on and really funny comic. And then we were talking about birth certificates and something. And I was saying how Ginger, Heidi and our daughter, I had the opportunity to buy like multiple birth certificates, and he was like, oh, that's the best thing you could have ever done for her because you're losing those all the time. And I was like, but I didn't. I just bought one.
$25.
It's very expensive.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Insurance doesn't cover that.
No.
So I was a big fan of that. And bottled water, you guys. Was this all the same episode?
That was all Greg. Yep.
Greg.
Bottled
Wow.
water was Greg too. Yeah.
Huh.
He's a good muse.
Right. And then, I'm sure I should have written it down, taken notes, but those are ones that I was like, that's an idea. I hope you use it in your stand-up.
I will now. If I ever get out there again. Have you been doing, because you're an amazing stand-up on top of the radio stuff.
Oh,
you
thanks.
always make me laugh so much in LA when
Oh.
we rarely saw, like we weren't, in Los Angeles, you could go years without being on the same show as somebody, but when I did, you were so funny. But
That's nice. Thank you.
Have you
Johnny,
gotten back
anything
to it?
to say about that?
Very funny. The clips I saw online, very funny.
Oh, research. Oh, thanks.
Well, we never worked together. I had to do some digging. I did know who you were, though.
No, nobody ever knows who I am. It's so funny. Like LA, I was there for so long and everyone was like, I'm not familiar. I did the road a lot though, too, when I was there. So I didn't do a ton of the cool shows, hipster shows, but I don't do as much because I have a child. I have a 5-year-old named Dahlia, and there's just guilt now. I work, Robbie, my husband's a stay-at-home dad, and then I work 2 to 7-ish, which sounds like not a lot, but it's trust me.
You got to go in like
Yeah.
a little before probably.
I do. I do an hour and a half of prep, and then I go in at noon, and I'm there till 6:30. And then when I come home, the last thing I want to do is mommy needs more validation. So
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
right.
done perform. I have nothing more to say. Like I already feel like I overshared at a party when I leave the radio job. Like I talked way too much. So I'm
Is
done.
your format like how much talking is it? Like how long do you go between? Do you have
No, it's not
music
like you
breaks or-
podcast stuff. Yeah, we do. We rely heavily.
Okay.
So we play like 2 or 3 songs an hour.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you have
So
any
there's
choice
breaks.
in the songs? Or that's totally automated now, right?
It's
Like
such a radio myth. Yeah, people call in, please play Pretty Reckless. Can you please play? And it's always songs that I'm like, I'm positive you'll hear it eventually. Like if
Right.
you listen in an hour, we're going to play Foo Fighters for you. Like you don't need to request it. I remember working on like an adult contemporary, and someone requested Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. I'm like, are we playing it right now? Like it was constantly on a loop, and he wanted more of it. I was like, God, or just
it's like, sir,
download
have you,
it. Like
Send the
Yeah, I
dollar.
was gonna
Send the
say,
dollar.
like, have you looked into buying the song for 89 cents?
or listening to it for free on YouTube or
Right, yeah.
anywhere. Like I don't understand people requesting songs anymore. But
Well,
but
that
they
makes
do.
you like more valuable, right? Like that's the only real value of radio anymore is like having hosts that people like, right? Because why else would you really
Yeah.
listen?
Yeah, we
music,
are
you
the
know?
only unique component now that you can have any song you want in your pocket. So the talent is sort of it. Although I feel like I'm the least popular person. I'm not from Baltimore, and they all are, and they're all beloved.
Oh.
My co-host is a legend in Baltimore, Kirk McEwen. Maybe you've heard of him, and here people have. And I am the outsider, and I've been here 4 years, but there's still a lot of "She
Who's
ain't
this?
from here."
Who's
Yeah,
this lady?
yeah,
Yeah.
Is it just the two of you your whole time?
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Did
Mhm.
you, so like, I know, because I have another stand-up friend, Brian Moot. Do you know Brian?
Mm-mm.
I don't know if you know him. But anyway, we started out together kind of in Seattle, and then he got into radio, and he's been in Atlanta and then LA for a minute, and then now he's in Dallas. And it's the same thing where I can't listen to his show, but then it's like I pick up like the way he's talking in social media. He's like trying to really endear himself to the city, so it's all this like Dallas Maverick stuff and hey y'all, and he's wearing a cowboy hat. You're like,
no matter where
you're
he
from
is,
Seattle, dude.
that.
I don't, I don't know if they're buying it or not, but I guess it's like, do you pick up? Is it like you have like Baltimore?
Yeah, there's a Baltimore accent that I try to avoid. I try to get rid of my Rochester accent, which is similar to like a Wisconsin, like a Midwest. You can hear it sometimes, but Baltimore has a weird accent where they have O's, like they'll say the O's are in town and the going down the ocean, and it's very addictive. Like I start to hear myself say it, and it's an easy place to love. Like Hamden is where John Waters lives, so there's like Flamingo, like there's that whole scene. John Waters is big, so it's like kind of kitschy fun down there. But so it, and I can't be fake radio and go and say things that I don't. If I don't like it, I really have to say I don't like it. And I don't like Old Bay. Old Bay is like a seasoning that they all flip out for here, and I'm like,
the crab.
Yeah.
You know, one time I was in the Baltimore airport, and whatever place it is, they're like famous for crab fries or something, and they're like
crab.
It was like, oh my god, that sounds amazing. They're gonna put crab on my fries, you know? So I like order it, and I was like, no, it's like seasoned with. It was like French fries seasoned with Old Bay. I was like, I paid $8 for a plate of French fries.
Right. Yep. And there's crabs everywhere. And then they like crack them. There's little crabs that it's like a whole thing where they sit on a picnic table and they shuck them or something. And I've never done it. I have a feeling it's just like a tiny bit of meat and there's a lot of work involved. So I've never.
Yeah, the crab. I've been to like those crab feed things, and mostly in like Washington State, and it's so much work.
For just
and it's very good, but you feel like, I don't know, man.
But you're gonna see me on Instagram like cracking crabs, trying to pretend I'm all in the Baltimore. Love my down the ocean, hun. But
hit the drive-thru.
We kind of had a weird controversy. The morning show got mad at me, and so they've been on air like saying mean things about me, and it's inspired some hateful texts which we read, so that's been fun.
That's good content.
Creating drama, that's good. It's fodder.
It's fun if it's like a bit, but it's not fun when it's like there's real hatred. Yeah,
I know. Well, that's weird. The do you want to get into it? What did the morning show like? What's their problem? Did you?
I probably can only say a little bit. It was about the guy's lawns. So here's something I could almost be backed up on.
Okay, perfect.
Hate lawns. I think they're the big lie in America. I don't think they're needed. They're a waste of time. I mow the lawn. I paint and I mow the lawn. And we don't have an electric mower or a gas mower. We have a push old retro.
It just spins,
dry, crusty. Yeah.
Okay.
And because of the environment, but now we live in a house where there's like 1/4 of an acre of grass. So I'm like, we should probably get a real like big kid lawnmower, but we just never have. So every week I'm making noises like, like trying to shove it through the grass. It's awful. So I hate lawns even more. You shouldn't have to make those noises when you mow the lawn.
You should see. I mean, it's hilarious because I've visited Johnny's house not long ago, and Johnny has the biggest backyard I've ever seen. It's almost all grass.
All grass, yeah.
And it's like 3 football. It's like enormous.
Do you have a riding lawnmower?
Well, I bought one and I broke it because I like didn't put oil. I don't know what I did. I thought I put oil, but I guess I didn't put enough. So I broke it immediately, and then I told them that it showed up broken and made them come and get it. And I was like, I'm just gonna get a push mower because I can't.
It's a good workout.
If I break it, I want to be able to take it to get fixed, and you can't do that with a riding mower.
Right. You can't bring imagine if you had ground cover or myrtle or thyme that you never had to mow, Johnny. That would be isn't that the best? Like that's what we should all be putting in our grass, like stuff that you don't have to mow, but you can still run on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I hated mowing growing up, and now it's like it's my chance to get away. It's like I feel like I'm being productive.
Okay.
And it's my meditation time. I put in earbuds. It takes me like an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's
actually,
epic.
yesterday was the first time I mowed this season. So
I will say I'm with you, Marianne. I like when we bought our house, I was very much anti-lawn. I was like, no, I want to have like one of those cool Portland front yards where it's all plants and
Stuff. Yeah.
trees and stuff, and then you let it grow wild and it looks cool, but then
Mhm.
you manage it a little bit, but not. But the thing is, digging up grass is
Oh my
such
God.
a chore. It's like
I
it's
do it all the time.
entrenched
Yes.
way into the earth. Like you would never think it'd be that hard to dig up grass, but it is like really. It's like I'm going slow in my front yard. I'm going so slowly, but I've had a couple of patches I've replaced.
Yes,
but it's
that's
like
what I do. I'm like,
such
this is my
a
strip
chore.
today. Yeah. The
Yeah,
sod. So there's
Yeah.
a tiller. There's like a machine you could get to get rid of the lawn. But I've watched YouTube tutorials and it's so scary. It's like, press this button 7 times. Wait until this happens or else it'll explode. Then pull it. Like there are so many. It's not just turn it on and your grass goes away.
It
So I was
sounds like how Johnny broke his lawnmower.
Yeah. You didn't press it 6 times.
right. I didn't wait long enough.
I keep going, I'll do that. And then I go, I could just do my shovel thing. I'll just do a small section at a time. So I'm just going section by section, getting rid of the lawn.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, go on.
Well, no, and then getting rid of it. So then you can dig it up, but then you're like, if I just throw this whole clump in the yard waste, it's going to get so heavy they won't take it. Because that happened to me one time. They literally would not take my yard waste. It was too heavy because it was full of sod. So then I have to like bang out the piece of sod with the little scraper thing and get the dirt out of it.
Reading my diary.
It's a nightmare.
You just got to put it in your neighbor's garbage can or just kind of at night. Just sort it over different
down the road. Everybody gets a little sod.
Yeah.
Make like art projects in everyone's yard and
sod
make it like
fairy.
a neat Portland thing.
Mom, it happened again. There's more grass.
It's a sod man.
Looks better. We get more sod in our garbage.
The sodman came.
Put a carrot in the.
Make it a fun mystery. So yeah, the grass, we have to dump it in our backwoods. It's a effing hassle. So I am anti lawn on air. That's
what's the end game though? You want just like a big like plants and flowers and stuff, but isn't that hard? Because we have like our front yard takes like 10 minutes to mow because it's way tinier because it's full of landscaped flowers and stuff like that, and that's like super hard to maintain. You have to dig up the weeds. You have to pull up all the old, whatever that stuff that.
See, my meditation is weeding, like pulling weeds is so fun for me.
That's like my wife. She enjoys it.
I'd rather.
Well, but then there's there's a middle ground with, like you said it, Marianne, but the ground cover is like amazing. Because then it's like these things kind of just grow and they spread out. And then if like there's a few weeds in there, you really would have to look close.
Yeah, weeds can't even. Yeah. And myrtle is like the best. You could throw it anywhere and it's like, I'm fine. No water needed. It's just so hardy. Myrtle. Yeah. That would be a great name.
Myrtle's a plant?
Mm-hmm. It's
no, it's a friend of hers. She just throws myrtle in the back.
You throw her everywhere.
She doesn't need water.
She weeds.
So I talk about this on air and we had visited, I wonder if I'll get in trouble for this, but I visited the morning show's house and he had a gorgeous yard. But it's small. And I'm like, well, if it's small, who can put a lawn in? I could do that. And he got mad that I referred to it as small, but it was like a fact. It is small. It's a tiny yard and it looked beautiful, but it was small. Wow. So then it just went back and forth and it was crazy. And it was a very violent week.
Yeah. Marianne calling people's lawns. You're like Howard Stern over there.
She said it.
Yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
What will she say next?
Did you see that guy's sidewalk? It's all uneven.
Somebody needs to power wash.
So I'm like, he's going to call HR on me.
I love it. The lawn drama. Well,
that's the drama.
And then I can't believe that from that they can inspire listeners to send passionate, mean texts, which is horrible.
Oh, I could show you screenshots. Get that bitch
I'm sure.
off the air.
I can only imagine
with her
how.
lawn. Oh, the keyboard
awful.
warriors with it all. I don't know. I feel like people are getting angrier and bolder. and celebrities are like hitting back about it anytime a troll. And if I wasn't in radio, I would have been like, hey, you signed up for it, you're a celebrity, suck it up. But it is becoming a little too much. It's not like it used to be, you know what I mean? Like you never had a direct line to people, and they say things that are so mean, awful. I can't even get.
Yeah, no, you don't.
I mean,
have
not to bring the
I-
pod down, but when I was pregnant, somebody sent a letter to my home saying, like, hang your baby. Like, it got that bad.
My
I was
God.
like, I can't, I just can't even wrap my brain. I'm like, but I literally just talk about my lawn and jokes on the air. Like, why are you so mad?
People are insane, and you're amazing for being able to, because I am so thin-skinned when it comes.
Yes.
People are like, "Oh, you're a comedian. You should be like, thick-skinned or whatever." I'm very sensitive.
Yes.
And like comments online, I just got like, so that thing is like, call the police. Like that is so
I did actually.
screwed up.
Yeah.
Good.
Not
Good.
that
I'm
they
glad
could do
you did.
anything, but yeah.
Yeah, but whatever. It's worth trying.
You never see anything like that when Jimmy Kimmel's reading the mean tweets.
Yeah. Hang your baby. And then that face at the end.
And everyone laughs hysterically. It's like Robert Duvall is like,
your face looks like a pumpkin, and then mine says kill my baby. Are we okay?
really mean tweets.
Yeah. That's what they should do later. Really, really.
That's our Jimmy
inappropriate
Kimmel
tweets.
bit.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Me too.
But no,
I had something else.
I'm just saying, I'm so sensitive. Like someone the other day on Facebook was just like, when are you going to be funny? I don't know if they just followed my Facebook page, but that was enough
funny.
to send me in like a tail.
Yeah.
And I sat there for 20 minutes, and I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be a comedian and like be quick on my feet. 20 minutes. I was like, what's the perfect thing? I was like, when are you going to leave your ugly wife? And I was like, no, that's going to come off a little aggressive.
Why don't you mow your small lawn?
Yeah, why don't you mow your tiny lawn, you piece of shit? But I was like, finally, I remember something Heidi told me, which was so smart, and it's like what you should always respond, which is like, I just said like, hey, bud, are you having a tough day? Like that's like
Yeah.
always the way to handle it.
It's
like
true.
just
It's
throw
like
it
they're
there.
hurting.
Like, and then they just like, whoa, what? And then it's like, yeah, you seem like you're a little aggressive
Yeah,
today. Is there something
they are
wrong? Can I
hurting.
help you? Yeah, and
If you
that's
think
almost
about
always it.
Yeah, if you think about the losers that are going to text into a radio show and tell me that, whatever. Usually people listen to the radio, turn it off and go to work and then go to their lives. Like for you to sit and wait. But also on that point, like what we do, like you have to I work a lot with ego, like trying to get rid of it, and knowing that that's where we're getting offended because your ego's bruised. So you have to have a small enough ego to let that happen, but a big enough ego to feel like you deserve to say things in a mic, or on stage.
Yeah.
But it's this weird middle ground that can almost never be. We're broken people. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah. Well, it's like, fighting that, well, like whatever they call imposter syndrome, because you're like, oh no, it's people want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah.
And doing a podcast, it's the same thing. It's like the arrogance of not only like, at least stand up, you're like crafting this thing, and then you're like, people are paying a ticket and whatever, and so you feel like some level of like I'm giving them some. But with like when I know when we started this podcast, I was like, what why would anyone
There are so many podcasts too. There's like,
and there's so many.
Like if you have the weirdest hobby, like I like crocheting in the dark on Wednesdays, there's a podcast for that.
And
like
it's too late. You're already in a crowded market.
Yeah, you're the
You're
third.
like, oh, another crocheting Wednesdays? Yeah, okay, thanks. We don't
Get
need
an
it.
original idea. Yeah, like I tried to do a podcast and I'm like, movie reviews. There's
yeah.
a few.
That's what kept me so long from starting
Yeah.
one. It's like, because I was like, okay, I just need to think of a good hook, which is so
Right.
stupid. Because
Two
like,
white guys.
yeah, there we
White
go.
guys talking.
No, but what
about
if they were
everyday
straight?
life. Yeah.
What if they had wives?
What if their title was confusing and everyone thought it was something else?
What if they thought it was some
Yeah.
religious thing, and then they get
Really
there and they're
jazz
very
it up.
disappointed?
Yeah, make it hard to find in addition to being very
Yeah.
common.
There we go. Perfect.
But look, you strung me in. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
We gotcha.
For now.
If we can just
until-
get more of Heidi's friends to ignore what she
Yeah.
says about the podcast. but then
recruit your
listen.
wives. What do they say about it?
Well, Heidi's always, Heidi's not. She likes the podcast. She's very encouraging. She tells me it's funny. But then also at the beginning, she was like, she didn't like the format because the idea of like, she was like, you should be honest and there should be confrontation. So like if Johnny was saying, oh, I need backup because, I like whatever, Taco Bell or whatever. And then you shouldn't just say, oh yeah, Johnny, you're right. You should be like, say what you honestly think. And I was like, well, so she didn't like the kind of the format where we try to where you were yes
anding instead.
Yeah, even though she comes from the
improv world. Well, in radio, they say you should have contrast, not conflict.
Oh,
that's a trick.
Maybe we'll adopt that.
Contrast, not conflict.
Well, give me an example of what that means. So, like, if I said I hate big lawns,
right?
How would you?
You would say something like, yeah, but maybe small lawns, I like small lawns because of this. Not, you're stupid. That is ridiculous. And you should get the fuck, you should kill your baby. You can't have, that's bad.
Yeah, you can't go right to kill your baby. You have to
it takes years of.
Yeah, you got to build up.
Morning radio.
Well, at least you're inspiring passion among the people. You know what I mean? Like
I tried to give that excuse to myself. Like, oh, the people that hate really like you,
Right. Yeah, no, I think there's some truth to that though, like you're generating a emotion.
A feeling.
And then,
Yeah, like when the boy hits you, it's because they like you,
I know. This sounds very, I forget the word, but not healthy or something.
Right, it is. But I did try to think that, like, hey, if I was boring, no one would text in anything at all. So at least the hate is something.
Well, and you're still there. Like radio is tough business, and like 4 years, so you're doing good.
Our ratings are really good. A lot of that is Kirk. He's a staple in Baltimore and people love him, but we do well. And like I said, the majority of the people that like it don't make it their lives. They go away. They move on after getting gas. And then, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the way it should be. It's just sort of
it's like
radio.
It's like Yelp, right? Like if you love a restaurant,
you're not going to write. Yes.
But if you hated it, you can't wait to go home and write a review.
Right. I guess unless you really love it, maybe you would. But
or you're just a cool person. Yeah.
Right, and you're like, hey, I've got to start putting positive things out in the world.
Yeah. Well, so you're saying that you want backup on the lawn thing. I'm backing you up for sure. In fact,
that's not my backup thing. Though.
Oh, that's not okay. Let's
you
get
can
to
have
it.
you know you can have
you can have as many as you want.
I know. I bet you guys don't have anything that's.
How dare you?
Oh, we do. No, we do. How dare you? Yeah.
I have a flimsy one, but we don't have to get to it. No, but what do you have? Do you have an official?
I have something, and I think that it's going to be very controversial, and you're not going to want to back me up, but I might be able to.
Can't wait.
Get you in.
I'm going to contrast.
Yeah. Don't conflict. People think when they move into when they look at houses that they really want 2 sinks in their bathroom. Like when they see a bathroom with 2 sinks, they go perfect for the kids or whatever. You don't want 2 sinks. You want counter space in front of the mirror. You don't want, when do you ever brush your teeth at the same time? And one sink is going to end up being dusty and filled with things like a hairdryer or whatever. And I get so much pushback about this.
Yeah,
but that's what I want backup on.
Well, wait.
I'll back you up because I've never thought of it before. My sink is the one that has, hairdryer, razor, cords and shit in it all the time. I don't need very much space. My wife.
So you have 2 sinks?
So we have 2 sinks.
And one doesn't get used.
We do brush our teeth at the same time.
Do you?
We start to. And then my wife tells me to get out.
Do you spit at the same time or do you alternate?
We
bump heads.
We time it. We synchronize it.
You try to do it to music. And this is fascinating to me. I shouldn't even really have a way. I've never had 2 sinks. I've always thought I wanted 2 sinks because sometimes we do brush our teeth at the same time and I'm like spitting in the toilet or whatever.
Really?
And it's, I don't know. Like when you're going to bed,
We don't go
But
to bed at
then-
the same time, so
Oh, well, there you go. But yeah, I think you're now that I'm thinking about it, though, you're right. Like, what do you really want? You want mirror space,
space in
And
front of the
then-
mirror,
and
especially
then counter
because people
space.
say, they'll say we've got kids, and it's like I grew up with 2 sisters, and we didn't. Yeah, the brushing took a minute out of our lives, so that 1 minute maybe is inconvenient if we were doing that. But for the
Yeah.
most part, we needed makeup and hair and space. But
Well,
nobody
yeah.
seems to want that when they look through a house. If they saw one sink and counter, they'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna have to put in another sink."
No, that's a very House Hunters, like automatic criticism is like, oh, one sink.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's
When
not
really
open
it's like
concept.
bathrooms. Like, I don't know. The biggest difference in any like house is like one bathroom or multiple bathrooms.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we Heidi and I have always had one bathroom in the
Yeah.
apartment and then now in this house, and it's
It
you know,
sucks.
that can be
Mhm.
tough. Even with just 2 people.
You go to the
and
bathroom
then-
at the same time too.
Yeah, we time it.
You
We
take-
alternate.
You just pee between your legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're splashing.
It's a very
Put a
intricate
towel
dance.
there. Put a vintage towel there.
Yeah, put a vintage towel down, and that we'll resell
Even
after the
crusty.
bathroom switch.
Yeah, HGTV in general has a lot of stuff that I think is I don't
Oh,
get.
it's
Like,
influenced a whole country. You know what I mean? I
Right.
think it really has like changed what everybody's
granite
like-
countertops are all anybody wants.
the open concept. Everything's got to be.
Yeah.
You know that nobody wants a room anymore. They just want
Right.
space.
I don't like the idea of entertaining people. Oh, yeah. And then you see the messy kitchen, but also entertaining people. I don't have a lot of dinner parties. So
Well,
that
yeah.
always gets mentioned on
Yeah.
HGTV, like, oh, we can finally have, and I'm like, how often are you doing that?
No, that was like the Joanna Gaines thing. It's like, oh, they want a table that can fit 40 people. And then it's that poor Clint who had to make like the biggest goddamn table you've ever seen in your life for like
He just
Game of
keeps
Thrones.
sawing
It's just like through the whole, you're like,
Our
what is this?
chalices.
This thing is going to be so pointless.
Yeah,
But-
farmhouse that's stark open. It's like everyone just wants a warehouse where they can just see everyone doing everything, and it's granite and black
Yeah.
and white.
Yeah, the black and white thing for sure. I'm going to back you up though, because that's a very astute observation. Because you're
Okay.
right. Even though Heidi and I do brush our teeth at the same time, and I have had the thought, like, boy, what if we had those his and hers sinks? It sounds like, Johnny, you're saying you don't even use the other sink. It just gets filled with crap.
Yeah, and we do. I mean, we do brush our teeth occasionally. It's not like every night, but like it's not necessary at all. And it'd be way more convenient.
You mean
wait,
at the
wait,
same
wait.
time?
The way you worded that, I was like, Johnny, your brother is a dentist. You have to change the wording.
Occasionally
We brush our
brush,
teeth
but-
occasionally. It's not necessary at all.
You forgot a part.
I forgot a part. But we don't. It's not necessary that we do it simultaneously.
Right.
But
I should have phrased it better. I should have said, I don't think 2 sinks are necessary. And you guys would have been like, what? And then I
Yeah.
would have explained it. Damn it.
We could have gone for more which one is it?
Contrasting.
Con-
Well, the whole
contrast.
when you mentioned counter space, that because I wouldn't have even thought of that, but like
Right.
Because I really
one
thought
less
I
sink
really
to
did.
clean.
You were very effective because I really thought like 2 sinks is what I always wanted. in
Yeah,
a
we
bath-
all.
I mean,
think
what I really
that.
want is 2 bathrooms. I mean, oh my God, would I kill
Right.
2 bathrooms?
Right. Because
Especially-
we don't think we want 2 sinks, but we never think we want 2 toilets. And it's kind of like
Yeah,
you're all
that's what I
just
want. I want one bathroom,
facing each other.
multiple toilets.
So we can look
I
at
want a
each
nice-
other.
I want an open concept so open that we don't even have walls to the bathroom. I just want
Right.
toilets in a corner of the living room. That face each
Multiple
other,
toilets and sinks everywhere.
that inspire conversation.
Because I get lonely.
Yeah. Why should I be closed off?
I miss
Yeah.
you.
Backing you up all the way.
Wow.
It's an eye opener for me, and I'm gonna
Lawns,
remember this.
lawns and sinks.
Lawns and
I'm
sinks.
out. I'm out to dispel the
need 'em.
myths about American staples that really shouldn't even exist.
Materialistic.
You have much better, more thought out topics than we generally bring to the table.
Let's be honest, our guests.
Yeah.
We bring it. Yeah, these stupid goddamn guests we've had before.
But I already did like 40 topics today on the radio. So
have you ever, now be honest, have you ever brought up this amazing sync, well thought out thesis?
Yes. And I got
on the
hate.
Radio?
Yeah. Hate.
So you're recycling topics.
Oh yeah. Because I still
But
want backup on it. Like I still feel like I didn't get validated. Like they're still stupid for not thinking the way I think. And that's what
you
people
hear that,
hate me.
listeners? You're stupid, according to.
Right.
I wonder why they hate you.
Yeah. They
These
say
fucking morons that listen to my stupid radio
you
show.
Sink morons out there. I bet you've got 3 sinks. Dusty sinks.
Yeah, no, we were much more supportive than your listeners because
they didn't like it. Even with those points, they were like, still want it.
But see, and then when Johnny said, I keep pointing the wrong way. When Johnny said about even in your experience, you literally have like a bunch of cords and stuff in your sink, right?
Yeah, and I mean this is a whole different topic, but it's frustrating because I will shovel her shit onto her half. And I'll be like, look, I keep my side clean. It's not my fault I don't have as much. And she's like, well, I have more things, so I need because wouldn't you think it'd be fair to divide it right in the middle? I get my half, you get your half.
Seems
she's like, no, I have 100% more.
That's true, because being a woman, like there's another American myth that we need more stuff for our faces and products.
Yeah. But there's also space in the medicine cabinet. You know what I mean? I feel like we have a lot of stuff on our counter that could be in the medicine cabinet that doesn't.
That's true.
But then, like,
God, I love it out though. I love it out. I love it all right there, right on next to my hand. I hate putting stuff away like that. So convenient.
Yeah. I don't know.
I also don't tighten lids on things. Like it's just I know.
My wife, she has a thermos. She never twists the. I spill it every single time because the handle is on the lid. Yeah. And so she hand me my thermos. I grab by the handle and just tip it over.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. She sounds great. Sounds like she gets
based on what
fast.
the kind of thermos she has.
Marianne's really just angling for a show with Aaron and Heidi hosting. It's like, that's the podcast. This is just a gateway podcast to the podcast.
I'm just here to deliver their messages. I have a list of things. No, but I maybe it is a girl thing, but lids, you guys were talking about that too. Oh, wait, I'll get to that. But lids, I am fast. I'm so fast at everything. Like there's no quality in my home, but there's just like I'm speedy. I do everything fast and half-assed.
I don't know, the lid thing, Johnny, you were talking about the thermos made me remember last night, Heidi put a bottle of wine in the fridge and I was going to make dinner and it was like pretty full bottle of wine. It had been opened, but she put it in the fridge in a way, like the second I opened the fridge, the wine came out and crashed on the floor and spilled everywhere. Well,
I like her.
And it was like, but it's so annoying because I look like this raging drunk.
I don't
like
know how to open
a pirate who just crashed a giant bottle of wine. We're out of paper towels, so I'm like mopping it up with rags, and so
that's actually a tragedy for wine to be spilled. But
in the first thing Heidi, and then we had another bottle and I put it was a white wine, so I put it in the freezer quick, and that was like the first thing Heidi asked me. She's like, well, did you put the other one in the
do we have backup?
Like, yes, if there's more wine. Okay, but do you want to hear about how long it took me to get all the glass? And then okay, if there's more wine, then what are you talking? What is the problem?
Right, why is there still talking about this when there's something in the problem solved?
Yeah,
I guess maybe that is a girl thing. Sorry guys.
We have a special guest. Are you coming? Or then you gotta go upstairs. Duncan has been standing next to me for the last minute and a half. I will take the gunk off of this. Can you go upstairs?
Who is it? Dahlia would have loved to have come on. I didn't get to read her 5 gajillion stories tonight.
I saw Duncan for just a second. He made a brief appearance.
How old is Duncan?
How old are you again? I forget. Ow. All right. He's sick.
He was my Cabbage Patch's name, Duncan.
Duncan. Oh, it's a good name.
Yep.
You named him after
Xavier.
Michael Jordan.
Named him. Did you guys have those Cabbage Patch where they came with adoption papers?
Yeah.
I never
Well, I
did.
didn't, but my wife did, and my daughter does.
Yeah, and they name them for you, so I didn't have to. I didn't choose Duncan, but
But you got lucky.
yes, it's the best name ever.
Yeah.
Do feel like we're hitting a lull.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna.
This is talk to your kids. Marianne, would you like to talk to your child? Is
Dahlia?
your Dahlia in bed now, or what? is
Dolly's
this
in bed, so
bedtime
I
yet?
come home and we do dinner, and she avoids eating and dances, and then she we have our routine. That's why that hour from 7 to 8 is always like my hour with her. That's why
Right.
8 was great for me to do this, but when people are like, do you want to do a show? And I'm like, it's literally the time I have
The one time
to show her I
yeah.
love her and read her stories.
This is your chance to prevent her from like
Stripping.
30 years later. Yeah, so we're stripping exactly.
Stripping. Not that that's bad.
Oh, no,
Oh,
what was I
and
gonna
you
say?
guys
Oh,
said,
oh.
oh yeah, go on.
no, you go ahead.
You guys said you were talking about sci-fi recently and how your wives are like, we hate sci-fi. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
so the conversation we have all the time.
Oh,
Ooh,
like
the
anything in
wives
space.
hate sci-fi.
Yeah, and I don't like sci-fi. And Robbie's always would love to watch it. Like WandaVision, he made Dahlia watch it. She liked it. Like anything sci-fi, he's down. And I'm like, well, maybe not. But yeah, period pieces, sign me up. If only couldn't they combine them?
Why is that? Yeah, why is that a gender thing? It's
I
so
don't
weird
know,
that's
but
a
I'm
gender
drawn.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it seems like you don't want to ever, because Heidi and I hate when we fall into like any cliche, because they're like, I feel like Kevin James or something.
Right.
Like I don't want to be
Totally.
the sitcom guy, but then it's like I want the heat colder. She wants it warm. You know what I mean? It's like always
Yeah.
this stupid cliche stuff. The sports
Right.
thing, like I like sports, she doesn't. It's like I wish there was a few things where we broke out of that, but it seems pretty like dead on sometimes.
Right. And even when I'm saying things and you're like, oh, my wife does that. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm
Yeah.
the stereotype.
You're not special.
But I mow the lawn and I paint rooms. So
That's different.
There you
yeah.
go.
There you go. I was gonna tell you, you're so funny on Instagram. Your Instagrams with Dahlia are very, very funny. And
Oh,
Heidi
thanks.
and I
She's so
always watch
fun.
them, and but they're so funny because there's just a hint. You're like, you can tell you love your daughter. But it's just a hint of meanness to them, which makes them so funny. So it's like
my
you're
favorite
almost
video that I watched that I can't believe how mean I was she was so little. And I did up high, down low, you're too slow. And her face was so crushed. She was like, I'm doing it. And she was like, oh, like I crushed her soul, and then I cackled laughing. And I've seen the video since years later, and I'm like, oh my God, like she was there was pride and joy, and then absolute pain that I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I just made you a comedian, like right
she's
there.
like, I was too slow.
Mom always said I'm too slow as she's stripping. That's the moment.
Oh man.
Yeah, hint to mean. That's my specialty.
A hint of me, just a hint of meanness that makes it very, very.
She
funny.
doesn't pick up on it yet.
It's like the crab spice, just a hint.
Right. That I can't stand.
Do you have anything else you need backup on?
That was it. That was my
This
only
time
one.
has
The
flown.
lawn thing ended up being a new one. But if you guys have one,
Do you want to? Should we pay bills real quick?
Oh yeah. I got.
You have a
I have an
sponsor?
ad. We
We
have a
do.
sponsor.
We gotta
Hang on.
read
I gotta
it.
pull it up.
Okay.
Let me. Oh, you have the.
This is for real?
This is for real. Hang on.
Yeah,
Wait.
For real. We got to pay the bills. We got to keep the
Yeah.
lights on. Keep the mics
I
on.
have it here, and I'm going to pull it up.
It's
right
going to seem very
now.
casual and natural.
Wait. Why
this is
did
called
I?
a live read.
This is a. Oh yeah. See, you should be doing this.
Do you guys
because
ever
you're
do
the-
that on the radio where you're like, "Hey, should we do?" And then the other DJ's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, hang on, let me find it. I got to on AOL."
Yeah, this is. Oh.
Yep. Pros.
Hey, Johnny, I want to take a quick second here and mention our sponsor, Alamo Rental Car.
Oh, wow. Yeah, a new sponsor. That's funny because we were just talking about rental cars a few weeks ago, and you were saying you should never get the insurance.
That's right. Alamo Rental Car and their award-winning Roadside Plus insurance program. For just a few more dollars a day, you can have complete peace of mind knowing no matter what happens, you won't be liable.
And weren't you saying that even if you did ding the car, you could just do a bunch of donuts in the muddy field and bring the car back dirty and they'd never notice?
Yeah, Johnny, in the past, I may have said some things about car rental insurance being a scam and that you should never get it. And then if you get a ding, you can just do donuts in a muddy field. But there's nothing scammy about Alamo Rental Car's Roadside Plus insurance program. So when you're out there traveling this summer, make sure to get Alamo's Roadside Plus insurance. And when you have that nagging feeling that when you drop the car off unscathed that you were ripped off, just try not to think about it.
All right.
All right.
Good.
There we
Sounds
go.
Good.
For real?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, yeah. Alamo, that's a proud
That
sponsor.
is such a good tip.
Oh, the
The
muddy
mud.
field thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
God.
legit.
It is legit. Brant
My
Tobler,
husband's
hot
kind
tip.
of a car guy, so we messed up a rental, but he literally found like a Pep Boys and repaired it.
Oh, yeah.
before.
I mean,
It was a
the
fun
rock tip-
vacation. Let's find a Pep
Sounds
Boys.
like it.
Yes.
God, I remember that, like, and especially with stand-up, because I would never get the rental car insurance, and then any ding, because your profit margins on the road starting out in stand-up are so
Yeah.
razor thin
Oh my gosh.
that the idea of any sort of ding in the windshield, $500, I mean, it's like it can ruin you, you know?
Yeah.
So you're like,
yeah.
I would always like be like 35 feet behind the semi truck or whatever, like scared they're gonna
Extras.
kick rocks
Safety
up.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got a college show and I was like $1,200.
Yeah.
And then a couple months later, you do the math of what you did, and you're like taxes, hotel, flight, loss of wages at home. Like I
20% to
basically-
the agent. Yeah. It goes quick.
Yeah, it was bad. So I was like, can I raise my price like $4,000? And they were like, no, you're not Carrot Top. So I couldn't do it. And then cruises, I did one cruise. I know you guys both do a lot of cruise ships. I only did one on Carnival, and it was like a booze cruise from hell. It was just miserable. I said, I'm never doing this again. And it averaged like $100 a night. I'm like, I could make more waitressing. So
Yeah,
was
I've heard
scary.
that Carnival is pretty tough.
The frat house.
Accommodations and stuff.
yeah, it was a frat house. I was on stage and they made me wear they're like, one show's in formal wear and it's the dirty show. So that was fun, like a prom dress, being just adding the word fuck to normal jokes. Like I didn't have
Oh, that's the
dirty.
worst. I hate when they
Yeah.
advertise a show as dirty.
right.
Like,
So
it's
I just go
Like, just
"Fucking
say it's like
cats."
18 and over or whatever.
Right.
You don't have to be like, it's the dirty show. And then I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you people. I don't want to talk about asses and penises. Just, you know what I mean?
I just
Buttholes.
literally did my normal stuff and swore more.
That's exactly what I would
Buttholes,
do. That's
yeah.
exactly what I did. I would just you throw
Fucking
fucking
rental
this.
cars.
Yeah. And it's the most boring. These fucking lines at the bank are fucking so long these days.
Fucking right. Buttholes.
But,
But I was in the middle of it, and some guy came up, and I had a drink, and he took the drink out of my hand and drank it. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And nobody stopped him. And I go, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "You're dying, and I'm helping you." And
oh,
I was like, "No," and nobody got him off. And I'm like, "Can anybody?" Everyone thought it was like part of it. It was weird.
oh, what a nightmare.
So he finally, and then he sat Indian style, crisscross applesauce style, It's just folded leg
Jeez.
style.
Are you trying to get us canceled here? Is that what's going on?
Our Alamo is going to
TMZ.
drop us. Although I think Alamo might not be the most respectful name to Native Americans. either.
Right. Hey, wait a minute. So yeah, then he sat on stage and stared at me. I was like, I'm not going to do this again. I said,
but you're so
fucking
right
get off
about-
the stage.
You're right. You're so
butthole.
right. The deference they give to guests, like they basically would have to like kill somebody before they would I mean, they let
Right.
guests do anything that they want, and you're
He's
just
yours. Do it. Do whatever you want.
the good one. The one Johnny and I work, it's like at least expensive enough. It weeds out some of
right.
the riffraff, but. And
Remember
Are you
when
not
those
allowed-
Russian mob guys that kept coming to our shows and were like yelling out? You
Oh
remember
yeah,
that?
yeah. There was a weird Russians one time, mafia probably or something. But yeah, Norwegian
Are you allowed
is the
to
one we
walk
we do.
through with people? Normal people. I
Yeah,
wasn't allowed to
yeah.
walk around. I
Yeah,
had to
see,
go
that's-
down the dungeons.
That's a horrible too. And I was thinking like, oh my gosh, if they, I don't know what's going to happen with the pandemic or whatever, but if that work came back, but then they said, hey, you can come back, but then it's going to be new restrictions, like you can't eat in the certain areas, and
Right.
I was really thinking like, oh my god, if they make it any worse than it was, I don't think I
Yeah.
can go back.
Or I had to wear a name. Oh, and then I tried to go running up on the main deck, but it was a small little circle, and the same people kept going, hi. Like every time I ran around, they were like, you were great last night. And every time they were saying,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do this.
Oh
This
no!
is-
By the end of the week, you're like hiding from people because now
yeah, you're
everybody
stuck
knows
with
you.
an audience.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
bomb, you're stuck with the same people that saw you.
Yeah.
Or if you did well, even worse, then they're like, party.
Yeah.
It's not.
I had to cut specific jokes because it just invited people to be like, "Oh, hey, you're tall." It's like, oh god, please.
But you guys
I'm
do that. That's
helping.
like your thing, right? Like you do a lot of cruises.
I do like, I don't know, like before everything happened. I think it was like 6 or 8 weeks a year, probably. So it was like a
Mhm.
chunk. It wasn't a ton, but it was not like some.
Yeah.
I think for some people, like they're like all cruises. Some people never do them. I mean, like I think both of Johnny and I were kind of in a weird spot where it was like we do a few weeks a year, but
Right.
Yeah, it's a nice
Just
money
enough.
grab once in a while.
yeah, because the money is insane now.
Not the one I did for sure.
Yeah, not that one.
I owed them money.
Your
My
gambling
drinks.
losses.
Right.
But yeah,
I
so,
feel bad. Do you guys need backup?
Oh yeah, you were gonna do one, Andrew, and then we did this.
Oh yeah, I can do one quick, and this is good because you guys both have kids. So obviously, Johnny, I don't know if you've heard, but Heidi and I, we had a baby.
Oh,
And, she's 5 months now.
congratulations!
Love the name too.
Thank
Ginger.
you, Ginger. Yes, that's her name. We weren't gonna ever say her name, and no, I'm kidding. You know, like some people, Heidi and I were making fun of certain comedians we won't say, but they like won't show pictures of their kids because they're like, oh, we don't want to expose. It's like you're not that famous.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
I don't show Dahlia on my. I only show her in stories.
Well, yeah, okay. Who cares?
Is that the same thing?
Well, no. If you're showing her in store, people can see that. You know.
But they disappear because my thing is I don't want her to Google her name someday and there's
Oh,
just
yeah.
album after album of her in the bathtub and everything. So that's my only goal. It's not privacy. She's not like in the witness protection program, but it's like
Yeah.
I just don't want a thumbprint for her. So I think stories.
Oh,
will
I
go-
see.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I never even thought about that, but
Me neither. I should probably stop posting children's pics in the tub.
so I forget. Norm Macdonald has that great joke where it's like, you know, your grandparents had like one picture of them,
Right.
and they're out on a farm or something, and that was the only picture anyone ever had of them, and they show it around. This was my grandpa, and then in
Yeah.
the future, people are gonna be like, "Do you want to see 10,000 pictures of my grandpa?"
Yeah. From October that one
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Okay, so I read to Ginger sometimes. Heidi does too, but my mom has really been on. She's like, "Do you read to her every night? You have to read to her every night." You know, I was like, "Yeah, we read to her." You know, or sometimes it's in the morning. I don't know. Maybe a day goes by that we don't necessarily read one of these books to her. But my argument at this point in her developmental life, I've yet to hear a convincing argument that it is making a difference to her. Because the story, she seems to want to eat the book. She
Right.
seems to respond maybe to the colors. And then the one thing I've heard is that like, oh, it's because they're hearing different words. You know, it's good for the... But it's like Heidi and I talk to each other. We're not morons. We're not like, talking about...
But you don't
the
talk like sing-songy like Well, Heidi.
Yeah, red. I use purple, yellow, like peekaboo. Like these are not genius words. I'm not reading her like Herman Melville, you know. So I've yet to hear like a really convincing argument why it makes a difference to read to a kid. And the study that they'll point to you studies. They'll say, well, look, we've done studies on kids who get read to every night and kids who never got read to. And the ones who got read to every night went to Harvard or something, right? But it's like, yeah, because their parents are the type of parents who read to their kids every night are the ones who have money to send them to college. You know what I mean?
Well, not only money to send them to college, but probably are the type of parents that will do other things as well.
Yeah, like everything. They'll give them the healthy food.
Yeah.
They'll, help them with their homework. They'll be around.
Yeah,
if you're a parent that's like refuses to read to your kid, then
or doesn't think to read, like doesn't have the time or thought or education to know that that's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. Like if you haven't heard that that's good for them. The type of people who have heard of the study that it's good to read to your kids is the type of person who's going to be a good parent, probably.
Yeah.
Wait, so what do you need back? It sounds like you
that
just
it's a waste of time.
Own...
I'm wasting my time reading those books at this age.
At this age, no,
at 5 months, not like at 4 years old. Obviously, it develops good habits. But my mom is like on me right now. She's like, you got to read to him every night, And I'm like, I don't know if she's getting it. I don't know if it's registering.
What about a book on tape? Does your mom think that would be effective?
Little headphones on her when you
slipped away while she.
I got her an Audible subscription for her birthday.
It was the best of times.
Yeah,
it was
just James Earl Jones reading.
I mean, it's the same concept. Does it have to be the parent's voice?
Yeah, or like because
movie.
That's a great point. Like the book on tape would do nothing for her because it's like what she's really responding to is like the touching the book and maybe the colors. But she honestly doesn't even like it. Like I swear to God, I'll be holding her and she's like perfectly happy, docile, and like the second I start reading to her, she's like squirming. It's like boring. So I do think she's more of a movie watcher.
More of an action.
She likes, and then
movie.
Oh God, you're never. Heidi and I are both like pretty lax on like if the TV's on, we're not like so worried about screen time. But man, if you read anything about that, they're like you can never have a TV on the presence of your kids or something.
Yeah, Joanna Gaines, this stuck with me forever. She goes, we don't have a TV. She has 4 fucking kids.
Oh.
And she goes, we got rid of our TV when we were engaged, me and Chip, because the priest suggested we do that. And then we just never got it. And I'm like, I truly want to know, what do you do at night? Like how many puzzles can you do together?
Right.
Like, is that the only other books? Like
they have like a farm and like chickens, but even so, the hypocrisy.
Do they come on the couch, come to the living room at night? Like,
who knows?
No, they have a computer with a 72-inch monitor, so that's not
right. I know. I'm like, so you have your smartphone, right?
We have an iPad Pro on the wall.
we're binging Battlestar Galactica, but we don't have a TV
around my iPhone. The whole family. That's bullshit. I don't know.
That's bullshit. They don't have. I didn't know that, and that is such bullshit. They don't have a TV because they've built their entire empire on television. So it's like the Marlboro people like not smoking or something. That is very insulting.
Well, that they said that some new show came out, and I think it was on Oprah, and she goes, well, where did you watch? She goes, we all gathered around my little laptop, and they did laugh about that, and I was like, all right. So you do acknowledge you need one.
Oh, that is
a shiplap TV.
Yeah, they made it
cover it
reclaimed.
With right.
They're like, Clint, we need a 72-inch surround sound.
I'm gonna 100% back you up because I can't imagine what benefit Dahlia got as a baby from reading to her. Now, like you said, eventually when they can stare at you and understand you're a parent, you know what I mean? But right
when
now
they can when they're like, oh, what happens next? Or they I can remember as a kid like, oh, you skipped a part, because my parents would try. First of all, they're so big on me reading. But my mom, I remember vividly, she would like skip pages.
I do that too. If I'm in a hurry.
I bet you do.
Oh, I skip.
Oh yeah, everyone. I guess
If it's
I
a
will, too.
repetitive book and I know there's going to be like 8 more, I'll just take a chunk of pages and be like, and
Yeah.
then.
Good night, Moon. Good night, Horse. All right. Who else is good night?
Yeah.
Good night, Dahlia.
But if you read that book again, she'll be like, I don't remember that part. You have to remember the pages you skipped, so you always skip them.
You've got to like
You
burn,
tape
you
them
gotta
together.
rip them out. Yeah, that's it.
In the middle of the night, I have a razor cutting pages out. And when I go to the library, I literally look through books and I'm like, we're not getting this one. This is way too long. Like I make the decision.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she won't know certain plots of books because I've skipped so much.
Who'd the dish run away with?
I thought I just
Nobody
ended
knows.
there. Yeah, I mean, I need some more studies too that back up babies needing books.
Yeah, I'm guessing that it's like the studies is just like, okay, yeah, when they're Ginger's age, there's no comprehension. It doesn't. It's just preparing so that they're used to sitting there, and so because you never know where that line is where it will start to click, and it's better to err on the side of early than it's too late, we missed the bus. She's dumb, you know.
I'd say at this point, don't even look at her. She doesn't need it.
Yeah.
She doesn't know.
Right. She just needs like food
Yeah.
and
Diaper
the diaper every once in a while. And,
Wait on the bonding until she can give
Yeah.
you something.
Until you can tell she
Yeah.
needs.
She's a horrible conversation. It's very one-sided.
Right.
Kind of a
Truly.
taker. But yeah, okay, Johnny. So you're halfway backing me up, but you're saying I should be a little careful because
Right.
you
No, I don't
know
give a
when-
shit. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm guessing that's the reason that
Yeah.
they're saying that.
It could sneak.
Yeah.
The consciousness can sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
They're like,
her
why have they never?
actualization.
She'll be in therapy.
Well, I'm gonna still read to her, but not
And
in
they say
protest.
sing to your baby. There's always those billboards. Sing to your
Oh
baby.
God, I do.
Talk to your baby. Don't
Do
shake
you-
your baby.
Are you, Marianne? You seem like you would be good at this, but do you remember the lyrics to like songs? I try to sing to her sometimes, and I can't. I don't know the
Oh.
words to anything, and you end up making up
Real
horrible-
songs?
Yeah, or like
No.
Lullabies.
even baby songs, like any.
Yeah,
song.
but it's weird when I had a baby, all of a sudden these memories of old Polish lullabies came. My mom's Polish, my babci would speak to us in Polish, and I hadn't even thought of them, obviously, in
Yeah.
30 years. And then all of a sudden I had the baby and I'm like, kakirava, like singing another language that I forgot I knew. And
that's
then
beautiful.
yeah, it was fun. And all sorts of little rhymes and limericks come out, and you're like, oh, dude, my parents.
I can't
loved
even
me.
get. Yeah, I can't even get Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I screw it up and then I get mad at myself
You'll have to Google.
because I say bright because I'll say Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and then I'll say shiny like a diamond bright, which is wrong.
I think you've
and
got
then
Rihanna
then I
You're
might
lyrics in
listening
there.
to too much Rihanna.
Yeah,
Shine bright like a
is
diamond.
that what it is? Oh no. Yeah, and I say diamond
Ella.
really weird.
Yeah.
Diamond. Yeah, and then
And
I'm
everyone
writing,
has their own versions of children's lullabies too. Like, because I think everyone messes them up.
Are there words to the one that's like do 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 do?
I don't know.
I think
'cause I've
those are the
sang-
words.
I've sang that
Doo-doo-doo.
song with words. I've gone like go to sleep.
Oh, you
And
make
then
up
I
your
just
own.
little
Okay.
baby, go to sleep right now, please. And then, like that's about it.
Right.
I don't know if there's official words or not.
I
And that's
made up
it?
a
No, no.
lullaby for Dahlia because she hates drive. She didn't like driving as a baby. Everyone's like, oh, if she can't sleep, put her in the car. And I'm like, she's burst blood vessels crying. She hated being in the back seat until I made up a song to a John Lennon, the Beatles, Julia,
Mm-mm.
the song, Julia, seashell eyes. That's the song. And I changed it to Dahlia. But of course, I didn't know the lyrics. So I just threw in, brown hair and eyes or whatever. And she instantly stopped crying. So then I had to
Oh.
sing the song for 20 minutes every day. So I recorded myself and played it on a loop and she, to this day, her eyes will well up when she hears it. It's like
Ah.
bonkers.
Yeah,
cute.
look at you.
It was nice.
Mom of the year.
Now I'm like jealous.
Oh, you guys
look
don't
at
have
you.
personalized lullabies?
Great
Oh,
mom.
okay.
Look at you.
Maybe your wives do. I don't know.
Nope. No. Heidi's great.
I know. I miss her.
I know. Well, if
You two should
Get her-
start a podcast
Yeah,
together.
just get her a podcast and I'll talk to her.
maybe I'll have her start texting your radio show, and you guys can interact
Yeah,
that way.
something nice. That'd be great.
Yeah, hopefully she'll be nice.
I know. Oh, I hope she likes me.
Yes. Oh, she loves you. Do you have anything? Well, wait, Johnny. Do you want to? Can you go quick, or we're kind of?
Yeah. All right.
up
We'll do a
against-
quick one. This is good. All right. Real quick. It's ridiculous when people like if I have friends over. Actually, I think I only have one or two that do this, and they kiss my wife. Hello. We're not in Europe. Why are you kissing my
Ooh.
wife?
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like, that's not necessary. Let's not play this stupid game.
Cheek kiss, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a cheek
Okay.
kiss, but still, it's
Not
like,
like,
who are you pretending
That's so
you are?
sophisticated. I
You're
remember
my
the first,
age. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's a East Coast thing. I didn't know
Yeah. Are they
Midwestern people
Italian?
do that.
No,
Mm.
that's the thing. It's I don't know.
There's
what-
a New York, that is a bit, when I would waitress at Macaroni Grill, the waiters we'd kiss each other hello on the cheek.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I remember the first time
No.
someone did that. I was in LA. It was, I can't remember who. It was like a New York comic. Somebody, she was visiting and doing spots, and then she knew a friend of mine, and then, so I'd never met her before. And she came in and it threw me. I was like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?" It threw me off so bad. 'Cause I'd
Yeah.
never been around anybody sophisticated enough to like do the whole
Wait, that's,
Everything.
double cheek she tried?
but not
Johnny,
like
they're
not
not
touching
that's what
or
I'm
anything.
talking
double
about.
cheek. Oh, they're double cheek kissing her?
Yeah, it's like
I
air,
think
right?
so,
It's
yeah,
not physical
yeah.
touching, but it's like
No, it's no. This is a physical. It's a kiss on the cheek. I don't think it's. I don't know. I
well,
don't know if
that's
they do
not going to
two or one.
survive. That's not going to survive post COVID.
Yeah.
People are
you're-
talking
you're
about
never
like
gonna have to worry about that again.
Okay.
handshakes. I don't think the kissing thing.
But I would
that's
say
good.
a kiss on one cheek is more intimate than the double kiss, because the double kiss feels like a weird put on
Yeah,
thing.
it's like
But a-
bowing.
Kiss on the cheek is what I do with my family at this point, not
Yeah.
Yeah.
really friends.
I don't
I have
do it
another
with
friend.
family.
Like when he comes over to say, he'll finger my wife. Like that's how they say hi.
Oh, is he French? That's
Oh, he's
That's
just French.
so it's
from
okay.
Pennsylvania.
So it's cool.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they do there.
Oh, all right. I get
Wee
it.
wee.
Okay. Well, I think we're
Cool.
both backing you up there, Johnny. Just
Good.
Tell them to lay the fuck off.
yeah,
Like,
come
"Whoa,
in with
what
a
are you
nice
trying to do? I'm
hearty
right here.
handshake, a good strong. How
How
do
about
you
a
do?
handshake? Yeah, or a COVID fist bump.
Yeah.
You're gonna kiss her. You got to kiss me.
I'm
Oh
right.
yeah, they
here,
don't
yeah.
kiss you.
Oh, they don't.
rude.
The
No, they
women
don't
don't.
kiss
Their
me.
wives don't.
No, I don't. Cause I no. It's no. I don't.
Huh.
Oh,
All
Johnny.
right, that is weird. It's getting
Sorry,
weirder.
buddy.
Getting weirder. See, I'm realizing.
Do they take you to another room when they did this? Come here, I want to say hi.
They
Come
sit her
on,
down.
Why are you so shy?
Go sit down on the couch.
They
and,
lay
say
down on the
hello.
bed. It's been a while.
Oh,
With your
man.
husband.
All right.
Gives me weird looks.
So tight.
Well, Marianne, thank you so much. We've kept you way too long, but
I know. Thank you.
do you
That was me.
have-
I was
coming on.
bad.
where can they find all the first of all the Instagram, the blog, the Etsy shop, and then the radio
Boho
shop?
Mod Blog.
Boho Mod Blog.
Boho.
Etsy Boho Mod Treasures. Yeah, my Instagram for Boho Mod. That's all I care about. My house stuff. You don't need to follow my main page. I don't even pay attention to it. And I'm on Baltimore radio. You can listen to me 98online.com/listen 2 to 7 East Coast time weekdays 2 to 7.
Got
So
it.
I don't know what that would be for you all.
11. I'm a little better now at like converting post-pandemic because Johnny's Central Time. So it makes it
Subtracting
super-
3
Mine would be
from
1 to 6.
Well, it's hard.
I'm
okay?
getting better at the 3.
You're better at my
I've been
threes.
working on it with Heidi. She quizzes
That's why I
me.
don't want to read to Ginger too much because I'm worried she'll surpass me intellectually.
She's gonna get to 4 in no time.
Uh,
Yeah, that's it. If you feel like it, you don't have to.
Oh
There's
no,
my plug.
you got to. And thank you for coming on.
Nice to meet you,
And,
Johnny.
Yeah, good to meet you as well. It was a pleasure. Thanks for
Someday,
backing me up.
yes. And I feel backed up. I need Miralax. I'm so backed up.
Yay! All right, that's it. Thank you for listening to the
Cavalry.